What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to review John Wick Chapter 4. Alright, let's jump into a quick intro. John Wick discovers a path to defeating the High Table, but before he can earn his freedom back, he must face off against a new enemy with powerful alliances. Alright, let's jump right into the good.
The good.
Now, obviously, I think we all know a John Wick movie ain't a John Wick movie if it does not have its genre-defining level of fights and action, and Chapter 4 definitely delivers in that category. The violence is glorious, and I loved how it came to us in so many different ways. It was such a great idea to emphasize the usage of those bulletproof suits because it forced the characters to really go for the kill whenever they fought their targets. Matter of fact, I thought for a minute that they had some vibranium suits or something. But for real, that level of detail took the fights in this film to a whole different level. I just loved how much physicality had to go into all the different situations that were created. It was all just invigorating. I'd also have to say it was really hard picking which scene was like my favorite. I think it was something between either the traffic fight scene or the battle on the stairs. I don't know. Both of them had me hooting and hollering and wincing every time pain was delivered. One thing that the movie did very well, thanks to the director, was creating a lot of suspense through the storytelling. I mean, who would have guessed that within this story, the thing that would make you evoke the most reactions were a set of stairs? I mean, the combination of time and suspense and all these other elements that were brought for Wick to face off against were incredibly entertaining and frustrating at the same time. Plus, it was nice to see the lore of the High Table and all the rules that go on in this world get a little bit of a deeper look. I like the concept of the old ways and how clear and easy these rules were to understand as a viewer. And it's stuff like that that I really thought the director did a great job in really just making this more than just your typical action movie. For one, the world building in this movie was outstanding. I mean, it introduced new characters that didn't detract from Wick's main story. Actually, I quite enjoyed the vast array of characters, and they allowed the film to really breathe from Wick's story and entertained audiences with more side battles. I think this worked mainly because it allowed the stunt actors to just go to work and not have to worry about taking breaks for a movie star to get a little bit more screen time. Now, speaking of the characters, Keanu Reeves as John Wick was pure perfection. Wick is a pretty straightforward and simple character, but Reeves unquestionably owns that character just as much as he does with Neo from The Matrix. I think the supporting cast is where John Wick Chapter 4 truly shines. Donnie Yen was the perfect antagonist to face off against Wick. His character was so layered given his background and motivations, but Yen captured everything about this character to make him worthy of his own movie if it called for it. Bill Skarsgård, I thought, was also the right level of a villain, where he wasn't cheesy or boring or anything, but evil enough to make you happy to root against him. Lastly, I loved Rina Sawayama in her first feature film debut. I thought she handled her fight choreography scenes well, and the emotional moments were delivered convincingly enough. All right, enough of that. Let's get into the bad.
The bad.
Now, I had two issues with John Wick 4. One of those things was what I would like to call that wait and see fight choreography. Oftentimes, especially during the scenes with Keanu Reeves, you'd see the stunt doubles get hit and just stand up and wait their turn to get beat up next. Moments like that can get a pass in something like, I don't know, the Power Rangers or some B movie, but with the director being a former stuntman and this franchise practically redefining the action genre, I just can't give a pass to stuff like this for this movie franchise. I have to put that on the director as well, because those scenes could be tightened up with a little bit better editing or just figure out better ways to make the fights a little more believable. If you gotta kick some guy in the balls to really give him pause, then just do that rather than punching him once and have him wait to get killed later on. Now, the second issue I had with this movie was the unrealistic damage that was taken by a lot of the characters. John Wick 4 came dangerously close to Fast and Furious levels of logic when characters would sustain damage. I almost eye rolled at how crazy some things got. I mean, for example, if a character falls off a building or gets hit by a car, ain't no way you about to just walk that off. If we keeping it 100, John Wick should have been dead halfway through this movie. Okay, I'm just saying, I don't understand how he's alive, how he's able to walk. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Now, let me also say, did this stop my enjoyment of the movie? Absolutely not. Okay, I understand it's an action film. I'm an action junkie. I didn't care, but I'm still gonna call it out because, well, y'all could be better than that. Anyway, let's get on to the reason.
The reason.
John Wick Chapter 4 still reigns supreme by continuously setting the bar for the action genre. The combination of fights, humor, and emotional moments made this film more complete than anyone would anticipate. This was an absolute blast to watch in theaters, especially with a big crowd. My only hope is that in the future, if they decide to make another sequel, which I don't think is really needed given its ending, they at least get back to making it a little bit more grounded. I mean, yes, bring on the action. Yes, deliver all the crazy fight scenes you want, but let's not act like these are video game characters with unlimited power-ups and lives and they don't sustain real damage. Come on now. So at the time of my viewing, I saw this movie before Lance Reddick passed away. After he did pass away, thinking about this movie and revisiting it hits just a little bit differently. Actually, a whole lot differently. I thought he was a wonderful addition to the cast and to this franchise. I was looking forward to hopefully seeing more of him and his character, even in the spin-off Continental TV series. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with that as of right now, but he's definitely going to be missed. And yeah, it just really sucked that he passed away way too early. Now, I wouldn't say that John Wick 4 is my favorite John Wick out of the 4 films. If I had to rank it, I would probably say it's John Wick 2, then John Wick 1, and then John Wick 4, and then John Wick 3. Like, I really liked how John Wick 2 raised the stakes and really kind of piqued our interest at how crazy and big this world really was. I loved how grounded John Wick 1 was. And if we're being very honest, nobody expected John Wick 1 to be as good as it was. It had no business being that good. John Wick 4, well, I just gave you my review for it. But 3, I wasn't really feeling 3 as much just because it felt a little fillerish. It felt like it was just doing stuff just to do stuff. But I did like what was going on, at least in 4, to kind of give it that little bit of a notch up. So when it comes to the rating for John Wick Chapter 4, I've got to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Anyway, I still thought that John Wick Chapter 4 was a blast to watch. I think it's actually even better to watch in a theater with an audience so that you can have that nice, fun crowd experience. And by the way, don't forget to stay tuned until the very end because there is one post-credit scene that you might want to actually stay and watch. Anyway, do you plan on watching John Wick Chapter 4? If and when you do, come on back to this video and let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it.